Can you believe this place? Holy smokes. Hello friends. So I've come out to Purisima to this place to get my little nature walk in today, and I'm not even 50 yards up the trail, and I am overwhelmed and gobsmacked at the beauty of this. It's huge redwoods, these beautiful moss-covered trees, like just everywhere. It's holy smokes. The challenge today, I think, is going to be not taking a picture every 15 feet. But planning my little route, doing 3 separate trails: Hawk Ridge to Craig Britton to Purisima Creek, or whatever the name of that creek is. It's about a 7-mile loop, 1,600 feet gain in elevation. So this first bit, I think, is going to be steep, but oh, it is beautiful here. So again, as always, no real specific plans other than find someplace pretty and go explore it. Found someplace pretty, let's go explore it. All right. Okay, so we've happened to cross shot number 1 of our day. We're nearing the top of the ridgeline here, and it's been a little bit tricky finding shots because it's very wide open up here. It's just kind of overlooking the valley, and as you can tell, we're pretty darn near middle of the day. It's about 10 o'clock. Sun's coming in hard from my left side right now. But as I rounded the corner and hit this clearing, out here in front of me is this old, scraggly, looks like a burnt tree with just this really gnarly branches and this moss growing off of it. And it's up against the backdrop of all of the dark redwood pines across the gully on the hillside. So that's the backdrop. And so the contrast in this is the moss of this tree catching all this side light, and the hills just dark behind it. So I'm shooting really shallow depth of field, as shallow as I can get on my lens, which is an f4, but at 200 millimeters. So it's just a really simple shot, and I like it. It's just this brightly lit moss against the dark trees in the background, and I'm shooting at an f4. My shutter speed is 800th of a second, ISO 200, and a 10-second timer. 10-second timer this time is because I've got long glass, so little camera shake. I'm also raised up in my center column, which I almost never do. So the 10 seconds is just to give the camera a chance to settle and then fire. And this shot's really simple. I've got a polarizer in there just to kind of pop the greens of the bushes underneath this scraggly tree, just for the contrast, and that's it. That shot's really simple, and I really like it. For the day. We've just come off Craig Britton Trail, only just barely hit the Purisima Creek Trail back to the car, and I've already found a great little shot. I think I may find a few on the way back to the car along this creek. You know that I'm a sucker for water over a rock. Well, this isn't water over a rock, it is water beside a rock. It's still really pretty. It's just gorgeous, dark, moss-covered boulder in the middle of this creek, and the creek is bending around it and the cascading down, so you get the nice white wash. So we're shooting this at, on a 70 to 200 millimeter lens at about 130 millimeters, shooting at f9, ISO 200. Circular polarizer, take the glare off the water. 3-stop neutral density, slow down my shutter speed. And we're at about 6 seconds. Little 2-second timer. Take the shot. And that's it. It's really simple, really pretty. And I love it. Yeah, I like it a lot. All right, let's keep exploring this little creek. I think this is going to be a fun part of our day. To be honest, the whole day has been pretty fun. Thanks, nature. Okay, so I found another shot, and this one's kind of fun because it's a little different. It's tight, it's a tight in shot. I have these two rocks kind of jutting out over the river here, and a little cascade of water falling behind them, and then it just kind of does this S-curve a little bit in front of me. But I'm zoomed in here. Where am I at? I'm at about 105 millimeters, at about nothing. I'm at 105 millimeters. But I'm taking 2 shots with this one, and I'm making a little bit of a panel. So the first shot is starting with these 2 rocks jutting out, and getting, you know, a long exposure, cascade falling over. But because I'm in so tight, I'm losing the right-hand edge of the little pool. So then I'm panning a little bit right and taking a second shot, and then I'll stitch these 2 together and make a 2-shot panel. So I think that's going to turn out pretty well. But we're going to start out here exposing for our rocks, and we're using a polarizer to take the glare off the water. 3-stop neutral density filter, slow down our shutter speed, shooting at an ISO 100 f9, and I'm actually focusing on the rocks, and pulling my exposure information for the rocks, because they're, ooh, God, almost fell in the river, because they're catching a little bit of light, and I don't want them to fall off into too much shadow. And we're shaded here, so the highlights of the water aren't going totally nuts and out of control. So it's about a 2.5 second exposure, 2-second timer to let it all calm down. Take that shot. And we love that. And then we're gonna pan a little bit right, get a little bit more of this pool. Might turn this into a 3-shot. Just to get a little more information and a little bit more of this water in the foreground, and that'll kind of create that leading line back up into this fall behind us. So yeah, we're gonna go a little bit further over here, and that'll give me a nice little diagonal line across the bottom right-hand side of this frame. So I've done it. I've managed to scramble over the rocks here and get up to this next cascade. And it's beautiful. The creek's coming down, splitting around one moss-covered boulder that's just defiantly hanging on the edge there. There's a stream cascades around it and forms a pool directly in front, and then is funneled down between 2 more rocks. And then directly in front of me, 2 boulders that make a great foreground element, just moss-covered. It's just, these woods are gorgeous, they're beautiful. So that's pretty much the frame. Shooting at an ISO 200, f9, 1/10 of a second. I'm exposing, this time I am exposing for the white water. 2-second timer, boom. And at a 1/10 of a second, I'm getting a little bit of that motion blur in there, and I like it, and I might just be happy with that. But you know how much I love to do a long exposure. So we're gonna do a second with a 3-stop neutral density in there to slow it all down. And then I may take these 2 and blend them, so I get a little bit of both worlds here. So I get that long shutter speed and the silky smooth water, and So that's at 1/8 of a second. I like that a lot. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna end up blending these two exposures, so I get a little bit of that texture in the water, and I still get that cool, misty, bridal veil kind of feel going over the edge. I'm really happy with those 3 shots, actually. I got along the creek, the one with the water cresting around the rock, the little mini panel, and then the exposure blending where I'm gonna get a little bit of texture in that water, and the long exposure so I get the nice flow over the edges. So I think those are gonna be interesting. I hope they turn out well. But at this moment, I think I'm gonna call that a day. A very successful one at that. If they all come out, we got 5 shots today. And that's pushing our luck. It's a beautiful, beautiful hike here at Purisima Redwood Forest Creek Nature Preserve area. You know, I'll put the name in somewhere because I can never remember where I am. But that's it. Fantastic day. Beautiful day outside. Sun's going down. It's getting a little bit chilly here in the bottom of the canyon and in the shade of these trees. So it might be time to head back and warm up a little. But I am very happy with the day, excited with what I got, and excited for the outing. And I just want to take this moment to thank you for coming along with me. If you liked the video and the adventure, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more, and tell your friends. Maybe they'll find something enjoyable as well. Let's hope, huh? But as always, here from Purisima, these beautiful redwood trees here in Northern California. So long, and we'll see you next time.